kind of thing.
But you went, oh, what else can I do if I can do this?
It's all about releasing it all.
Whoa, look at that.
That's the worst part. So
What's life like now, apart from that you can sleep on your chair?
It doesn't matter how much I sit there worrying.
Did you consciously know what your root cause?
Yeah.
Hi, Ben. Thank you for joining me today. It's so good to see you. So today I just wanted to ask you a couple of questions, if that's okay. One of the first questions I'd like you to ask you is, what help would you like to overcome? What did you reach out to me for? What was it that you wanted to overcome?
My anxiety was really bad. I was separating myself from everything and then not seeing the help that's around me, and then just spiraling down into a darker and darker place and not seeing a way out. So.
Mm-hmm. What was that like, living with that issue?
It was getting harder and harder, and then I was getting confused between what was my autism and what was me, and outside factors of me overthinking, and it just led to everything just being confusing and tiring and fatiguing. My head was going to places where it shouldn't have been going.
Okay. So, what have you tried before working with me?
I tried some CBT, cognitive behavioural therapy. I've tried about 2 or 3 different bouts of counselling. I was on the fence about taking antidepressants, but I didn't like the idea. And then seek from friends' help, and the only thing that worked a little bit before was exercise, but I've totally lost that with injuries as well.
Okay, so how many hours or money or time do you think was spent trying to find the solutions that you were looking for?
If you're talking therapies, then at least 35, 40 hours. If all my bad habits of patching wounds and trying to make myself feel better with materialistic stuff, then thousands.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay, that's great. Thank you for sharing that. And it must have been really awful trying to sort of think, you're in that dark place and you don't know where to go.
Yeah.
So why did you decide to work with me? And what was that experience of working with me like?
I'd seen you on LinkedIn, and then with following the content on LinkedIn, I was on your Facebook group, and the advice and the stuff you were giving out before you was helpful, and then the testimonials I was seeing and stuff was helping, and then I just needed that help. I'd run out of avenues, and then you seemed to be the right fit.
Thank you. So how many sessions did we have together? Can you remember?
4, I think, or 2.5 hour one, and then hour ones after that.
Yeah. So just 4 sessions. And what's life like now after working with me?
Much better. I'm looking at the future rather than what I haven't got or what I'm losing, and then like, value myself better. And then I'm going into situations a lot more confident. Everybody around me at work has said I'm a totally different person. And then obviously I feel like I'm a better person for my kids because I'm able to give them me rather than just feel stressed all the time. At the same point, I'm able to help other people as well as deliver, and I've been more driven on turning everything around for myself.
That's awesome. That's a massive transformation in 4 sessions, weekly sessions, just weekly sessions, 4 weeks, and here you are. And it's like a gift that gives on giving as well, don't you think? That you kind of, it's like having a protein bar that just keeps opening up and you sort of releasing more and more. Do you find that?
Yeah, because when you come off of the therapy, you're like, what was that? And then as it sets in through the next couple of days, your thought processes are different. Obviously, you've still got to put the work in to make sure you stay there, but like, it's been helping because it gives you that that tool to keep returning to just, just keep pushing. And obviously the more you put yourself out there, the more comes back.
And your mind loves familiar as well, so it's about being in that different energy, really, isn't it? And like learning to talk to yourself in a better way, that helps so much. But we've also done a lot of deep subconscious work to release those old hurts and wounds that were keeping you feeling stuck. And that's the difference between come back next week and talk about how do you feel on the scale of 1 to 10. I'm not knocking it, but it doesn't shift the gears like this does it?
No, that was like putting a plaster on it, and there was no other service that I could access or that I was aware of that would allow me to help go deal with the stuff in the past that helped me stop the cycles. And not like, again, after my autism diagnostic, I got left with more questions and more confusion and no tools to deal with it. And then so you can't do that all confused without a clear head. And then this has allowed me to do that. Counselling just didn't help. Like, you talk to a friend, it felt, and it was the same thing, because it's just you talking. It's not actually fixing anything or allowing you to think differently.
I like when you get to a situation and you sort of, maybe at work or in a relationship or just talking to a friend or something, and you sort of like, did I just say that? Or did I just do that? Do you find that's happening, where you find yourself responding in a different way automatically?
Yeah, my advice for friends is clearer. And then at work, I'd put myself in a box of I can't do, which boxed me down into a pay grade where my confidence had knocked me down for so many years that I'd knocked myself down from manager to level 3 engineer down to level 2 out of just me overcomplicating stuff and overthinking and being too scared to engage. And now I'm more confident in what I'm doing, and then now accessing them other jobs to build myself back up, which then opens the options for me to go back on days and be better for the kids. Whereas I've been boxed myself on nights, I'm only dealing with 3 members of staff rather than a team and all the drivers and the public.
Wow, Ben, that's massive.
Yeah.
That is massive. In 4 weeks, that is huge.
Yeah. Just like
Wow. Just think of that potential, the earning potential as well, all of it. Very expansive.
Yeah, that was one thing where I was stuck on nights. Otherwise, my confidence on days, I'd be losing money. Now I could look at days and possibly go back up on level or management. But that's down the line. I'll deal with that when that comes. But
yeah. But it wasn't even in your field of vision 2 or 3 weeks ago.
No, I'd given it up. I'd done my bit, so I'm never going back.
Wow, Ben, that is huge. Oh gosh, I love those sort of things, because isn't that just so incredible? 4 weeks of not a lot of, it doesn't feel like work either, does it, really?
Yeah.
Would you describe, what is it like working with me? How does it feel? Does it feel like heavy, hard work, or how does that feel?
No, at the time you feel chilled, a little bit tired afterwards, but that's all it is. Nothing else. Just go and get a bit of fresh air doesn't pick you back up out of, and then you do feel better.
That's great, thank you. Yes, because it is just talking to me with your eyes closed, but that just allows that subconscious mind to come forward, and it's not hard work, is it? It's just I'm thinking of this and that, and I don't know why. It's just explore it, and it's kind of a playful thing almost, because you're like, I don't even know why I'm here. I'm thinking of this. I haven't thought of this for whenever. So that's really good, and the results after that are just phenomenal, and it's a gift that's going to carry on giving when you because the more your mind expands into what's possible, the more it just keeps on expanding. It's just amazing what you can achieve, and your kids as well. It's a ripple effect. It's just fab. I love it, love it, love it. So some people might be nervous about investing in themselves, or may never have invested in themselves, and maybe sitting on the fence thinking, is this for me? What would you say to that person?
If you're in a position to do it, because then you'll stop boxing yourself in, and it will be a big step for anything going forward. I got stuck with money issues, and then I now feel confident to go and challenge them. So it's important. Otherwise, you just get beat yourself up all the time.
That's right. And look how different it's been. You've invested in yourself and your time and all the rest of it. And now you're looking at potentially a managerial position in, not years and years and years in the future, but I can see that happening quite quickly because you've done it before, you've got the experience. Why wouldn't they go, yes, okay, we'll have you back? To me, it's a done deal. It's just because you've already proved yourself. Now you're proving yourself that your thoughts are different, and you don't have to overanalyze yourself all the time like you were doing because of the past stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like quantum leaping yourself into a future that you want to be with, you want to create, and it's just amazing. Thank you. So would you recommend working with me? And if you would, why specifically?
Yes, definitely. Just not once did you ever feel judged or talked down to, feel supported, and then it opens your mind. So what you think wouldn't work, and it does, and then just lets you see things differently.
Yes, exactly. It sounds on the face of it, if I just say, well, I'm just talking to you with your eyes closed, and you're like, how can that possibly work? Right? Yeah. It doesn't, but it's like, but I was the most skeptical person as well. And it was only when my daughter overcame her autoimmune disease while working with me, it was like, this works. What else can I achieve? So, it doesn't matter even if anybody watching is skeptical, it can still work because it's the subconscious. It's not me. I'm just the guide, but the subconscious is incredible, isn't it?
Yeah, you've just got to be willing to do it.
Yeah,
that's the thing, to let go and not be and try not to allow any distractions, because otherwise it'll bring you out of it. But
yeah, but there's still ways of it's not. It doesn't really matter how relaxed you feel. It still works. It doesn't matter, and it doesn't feel any different, does it? To really just being on your bed or on your chair with your eyes closed, it doesn't feel like you've got to go somewhere. You don't feel like you're zooming around the cosmos or something. It's like that, is it?
No, you're just chilled out in your own space.
Yeah. And aware of anything. Like if your phone went off, you'd be aware of that, wouldn't you? Or if the doorbell rang, you'd be aware.
Yeah, totally aware. I was a bit nervous, like she's going to try sending me asleep and talk. What am I going to say, or or be signed up to?
Yeah, exactly. But it's I can't do anything that you don't want. I can't like make you give me all your money, or
you're totally aware.
Or anything. It's you're in control. That's the point I'm trying to make. You are in control of everything. So it's just, and the other thing is, you're working with me on the camera just like we are now. So wherever you are is perfect. It's you're in the comfort of your own home. You don't have to go anywhere. And I think that's the benefit too. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it helps. You're not got all the anxiety and the build up of going to somewhere. You just got that hour or whatever it turns out to be for you that you just set aside.
Yeah, and nobody else needs to know that what you're doing. You're in your bedroom or in your house or wherever you are. In the you don't have to share it with anybody, do you?
No.
You're not going to see your car parked outside somewhere. It's just you're in the comfort of your own home, which is wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Ben. Is there anything else you'd like to add, or have you said everything you want to? Do you think?
I was just going to say, like, the confidence increase is nuts compared to what I was. I'm interacting with people, doing things, not caring so much, and then I seem to be getting a lot more in return back from people because I'm not emitting I say the ignorance that came of not wanting to talk to people, be there, and it helped. It's helped a lot because
That's
I'm
awesome.
seeing a different type of, even just simple things like yesterday when I'm out with the kids and the people serving me, like in the restaurant and the shop, the interaction was just different. Rather than going in, pick up what you want, chuck the money at them, and walk out or whatever. Like, it's just the whole experience of even normal day-to-day stuff is different. So,
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, and I think it's because you're more present. You are not so, you've got a different energy about you. You're more open to. There's a different, you're more open. That's the energy you've got now, rather than they don't talk to me. Excuse me, I'm so anxious or whatever. And you give that sort of guarded, without knowing it, is how we are. We're anxious. We sort of give off a different guarded, don't approach me kind of feeling. And now you've got that more open people, and you're more present. So people are going to be like talking to you and wanting to, as a giving change or whatever, just like talking like they do. It's just that is amazing. So it's a big ripple effect, because it's not only just changed your life, you're changing your children's as well, because you're parenting differently, and people around you, because you said you're giving better advice to people, which is awesome. And that expansion of your earning potential, and as your earning potential expands, your self-confidence will grow, won't it? Your sense of self-belief too. It's not just about the money, but it's about, oh look, what else can I do if I can do this? And then you're more open to the possibilities of more wonderful, gorgeous things coming in.
I just remembered something. My mates, my manager, we keep that separate, but he's always told stories about the old Ben.
Does it?
That was funny and a laugh. I was more socially awkward back then. I wasn't as good with people, but he used to tell stories of the old Ben, and everybody else just thought I was a grumpy C word. That is literally all they thought about me, like, and unsociable and grumpy, moody, depressing. And then he called me the other day and just went, "You're a legend. You're now the Ben that I told everybody about and nobody believed." And he said, like, "I envy you for just turning everything around in such a short amount of time. Like, in 6 weeks, I've had the power to clear 5 grand of 20 grand debt. Like, lost 2 trouser sizes, top size. At work, obviously, I said I'm getting involved more, doing more things, working harder, and then socially, I've been building connections and stuff as well." So, yeah.
What's that is?
So, and he was like spitting all that at me, and he just couldn't. He just had to call me. He said it just couldn't help it. He had to tell me.
That's awesome. That's great that somebody else has noticed, not just you as well. And to, not to call you out on it, but to hey, guess what? I've noticed. That is just wonderful.
Yeah.
That is wonderful, wonderful stuff. And that's why I love what I do. So thank you for sharing that and your experience of working with me. It's been an absolute pleasure working with you, Ben. And you know where to come if ever you need anything else. So thank you again for the time for today.
Yeah, thank you.